Is that why you stopped? Like, is that why you started making videos? Just because of all the negativity?
No, it's because like I don't really have any interest in music.
Yo, what up and back? After No Nitrous November dropping another banger with Kendrick, let's listen.
Kendrick, do you wanna go to Aldi?
Hey everyone, did not expect to really make a video about this at the time. No, as you can tell in my voice, I'm clearly sick as a fucking dog, but we're gonna ignore that because today we're gonna be talking about something you might have heard about recently if you've paid attention in the, not in the scene, but like if you pay attention on YouTube in the last few days. Today we're talking about Finn McKenty, otherwise known as the punk rock NBA, or well now the poser rock NBA as we'll call him. Used to be this YouTuber from like a couple months ago. Like he's been around for a few years, and his whole thing was like he's talking about like, you know, just like rock and metal and stuff like that. You might know him for his like videos on like new metal, Blink, or like, you know, him constantly dick riding Ronnie Radke on his live streams. No matter what it is, you probably know Finn for certain things, and you might not know him for a lot of things. But the main thing that everyone knows him for now is that recently he did an interview with Jesse Lee, who, if you don't know, he's the guy that does those like videos on Instagram and TikTok about like music and alternative news, kind of like Rock Feed, except like just not with the monotone commentary a little bit, which is not a diss. You know, he's interviewed people like, you know, like some of the dudes from like 311, dude from you know, Jared from Bowling for Soup, you know, Chad from Mudvayne, I'm trying to think of some names, Nick Nocturne, of course, a certain 3-letter individual who we will not mention. But, you know, he's interviewed a lot of people, and recently he did an interview with Finn, where Finn talked about how he was officially quitting YouTube, and that he had did his entire channel and videos for money, and how he was not a fan of any of the music, he didn't like any of it, he doesn't care. And a lot of people, some people are split on it. Some people are understandably mad because it's like you lied to your audience, you lied to people, this, that, and the third, which is fair because I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy had a Patreon for this shit. So yeah, I would be mad too if like you make these videos and your only source is Wikipedia. I mean, don't get twisted, everyone, we've all used Wikipedia, right? But that's just not what you should know. Hell, like even when I make my videos on bands, right? Yeah, sure, like Wikipedia is definitely a source to use, but other sources are used when we make these videos. You know what I mean? Like say for example, the NT and Sin video we did, none of that can come from Wikipedia. I don't even think he even has a Wikipedia page. A lot of that has to come from interviews and people talking about other shit. But here's why, and this is, and I'll be honest, because I used to watch Finn. I was never like a fan of him, but I did watch his videos, and his videos honestly make a good background noise. If you don't want to pay attention to a video, you can honestly put on one of Finn's and you'll be fine, especially now with the revelation that they are just like a fucking Wikipedia scan through. I think the best example of this is actually his Blink-182 video, because like it's a decently made video. It's just lacking like a lot of info that certain people would add, and it's that and the third. But again, we now know why in hindsight, not in hindsight, but we definitely know why it was lacking to a pretty big degree, I would add. But yeah, whatever. You win some, you lose some, I guess. But I'll give you my thoughts on it. I think now some people I've seen call it scummy, some people I've seen call it heinous, and I've definitely seen people call him a poser, and we'll get into that. But I think it's a dumb play. And I think it would have just been better to just say at one point, like, yeah, you know, I don't really feel like making YouTube videos anymore. This was cool, bye. And that would have been fine. But no, he just admitted that he did. And that's why it's hurting a lot of his reputable shit. Because then again, man, you have to remember, he did not always have a perfect reputation anyway. A lot of people don't even like him. One of the main numbers is him getting in beef with Dan Frampton a couple years ago, which most people either don't know or just do not care who the fuck Dan Frampton is at this point. And I frankly just don't feel bothered to look him up again and even remember why they had beef. But I'm pretty sure it was over Finn not being able to take criticism, which is of course the same case. But people were always talking shit about it. I mean, hell, there was a moment at one point where people, I think I saw like his wife was like this crazy like right-winger that was saying some wild shit. People were like, oh, the irony of a guy that's so like punk, but fucking doing that is funny. But then again, Finn did glaze Ronnie Radke in those videos, so again, I cannot be surprised. Some other people have also just kind of got shat on the fact that again, his videos are kind of boring, which I will admit they are. His videos to an extent are boring, and he would often shove some of his personal takes a bit too much in the videos. He made this constant play about how like, oh, he like hated System of a Down and thought the music was shit. But as we've now found out in an interview, he never even fucking listened to them, which I think is insane. I think it's insane to hate a band if you've just never listened to them. You know what I mean? I mean, to an extent, I could get it in some regards, but to hate something, you gotta like interact with it. That's like if I made my TF2 video and I was just like, you know, I was like, oh, his music sucks, but I never listened to it. No, I have heard his music. I've heard it so many times. So I have the right to say that I hate his music because I didn't just say like, oh, I don't like it. No, I heard it. I've heard tons of his songs. I've known people that are big fans of his songs. So I have to constantly hear it. I knew people that genuinely liked Evan. Did I judge them for it? No. I can use him as an example. Like I found it crazy that someone I was with liked a guy I hated so much. We both found it funny. But you know what? I was willing to hear him out on why he liked him, and he was willing to hear me out on why I disliked him. You know what made that so equal? That was a good thing, right? I feel like if you got into an argument with Finn over System of a Down, I don't think he'd listen. I don't think he would listen, like at all. But I think my biggest issue with this is the fact that he lied so much. Because it's not just like, oh, he lied about liking these bands, who cares? It's the fact that so much of it was lies. He, like, mind you, he admitted that he never even, like, one of the things, right? Because in some of the videos about some of the, not all of them, but in some of the videos on the bands, he would talk about, like, AFI, I think, and stuff like that, that he would talk about how, like, oh, he heard these bands before from, like, friends, and, like, from, like, friends' cassettes, and, like, oh, he went to go see the shows, and all this shit. But now we know that's just not true. Like, now we know that's just not even true. See, I think that's a shame. I think that's genuinely a shame, because how, man? It kind of like, this man was able to get with people that were actually in the scene to talk to him. Like, the man, dude, like, one of his most popular, like, interviews he had was with Fat Mike of NoFX, and he literally lied about being in the scene. That's insane to me. That's genuinely crazy to me that he could genuinely be around one of the most main people in the fucking punk rock scene for decades. Like, NoFX just ended like a month or two ago. They just called it quits, and being able to just leave that fast is insane. But I also cannot be surprised because again, this was probably just a front. And I mean, to be fair, I'm glad that he was honest that he did it for money. I'm glad he was honest about that, because it's better to just be like, yeah, you know, I just wanted money, compared to just like, oh, I didn't know, trust me guys, I didn't. But still, it's so fucking dumb. I feel like at this point we don't even know if Finn's gonna delete the channel. I feel like he might, out of just spite, because again, that channel is gonna be a fucking just decaying force by the end of the day. It's just decaying and rotting and fading away. That's just pretty damn sad, honestly. At the end of the day, that looks pretty fucking sad, I'm just saying. But, you know, whatever, I guess. I think overall, because again, this is such a dumb yap video, but I think my biggest gripe is the fact that someone was able to get that big over just lies. He's got almost 700k, man. Like, he's got like 603,000 subs. Again, good feat, you know, pretty cool. He's got, like, I think he's got videos with like some mils on them, like some millions on them. But this is a very big but, I will say. I still would argue that this should have went to somebody else. The fact that we allowed, again, usually if like someone has like a fan base as like hard and not pretentious, but hard and like elitist that the metal alternative subgenres have been, you would think that they would have spotted the bullshit on him so fast, right? I mean, hell, they did it with TX2. We instantly knew TX2 was a poser, right? How anyone didn't with Finn at this point is insane to me. And then, of course, like, I think just a lot of the opinions he's had. I don't remember a lot of them, but some of them were pretty awful. But honestly, I think that's enough. I think I've had enough. I don't need to talk anymore about this. Again, I've genuinely like just yapped about this for so long. But that's really all I have to say, I guess, about the whole Finn thing. I just find it so dumb. This probably is not going to get uploaded, but whatever, we'll see.